Hi, I'm Eliza. I'm an ex-Amish girl from Pennsylvania, and today I'm answering a question people ask me all the time, usually with a half laugh, like they already think they know the answer. Are Amish women allowed to flirt? And I get why people ask, because when you picture the Amish, you picture rules. You picture quiet. You picture no dating apps, no makeup, no short skirts, no public romance. So people assume flirting must be either completely forbidden or it must be this secret wild thing nobody talks about. The real answer is more interesting than both of those, because in Amish culture, flirting isn't usually a word people would use. It's not labeled. It's not performed for attention. It's not meant to be seen by a crowd. But that doesn't mean attraction disappears. It doesn't mean young women don't notice young men. It doesn't mean there aren't signals, boundaries, and yes, moments that absolutely count as flirting. It just looks different. It's quieter. It's coded. And it's shaped by one big idea that controls almost everything in Amish life: modesty. In the English world, flirting is often public. It's a smile across a room. It's a comment online. It's a like on a picture. It's playful, and sometimes it's loud on purpose. In Amish life, the whole point is not to draw attention to yourself. So anything that feels like showing off gets corrected fast. Sometimes not even with words, just with that look from an older woman that tells you you're doing too much. So if you mean, can an Amish girl openly flirt in front of everyone like it's a game? The answer is no, not really. That's not how you're taught to behave. But if you mean, do Amish girls have ways to show interest? Oh yes. And if you grew up in it, you can read it like a language. Let me explain the setting first, because this is where the whole flirting question becomes real. In a lot of Amish communities, the most normal place young people meet is around church-related youth gatherings. A common pattern is Sunday singings, where young people gather, sing, socialize, and then a boy might offer a girl a ride home in his buggy. That's a classic beginning to courtship. Now, here's where people misunderstand things. They hear Rumspringa, and they think it means Amish parents give their kids permission to go crazy, sleep around, and then pick Amish life like it's a college major. That's not what it means for most people. Rumspringa literally comes from Pennsylvania Dutch, meaning running around, and it's commonly described as the time when Amish youth start joining the youth social world, socializing with peers, and yes, looking for a marriage partner. It's not automatically a party phase for everyone. So flirting in Amish life is tied to that purpose. It's not flirt for fun, it's more like signal interest carefully, because dating is supposed to lead somewhere. And here's the second thing outsiders don't get. Amish culture has a lot of privacy about romance. Even when people are dating, it's not treated like entertainment for everyone else. That privacy creates a funny tension. On one hand, there's strong modesty and rules about behavior. On the other hand, courtship is one area where Amish youth and families often have more discretion than outsiders expect, and customs can vary by community and generation. So what does Amish flirting actually look like? It's not usually pickup lines. It's not touching in public. It's not showing your body. It's not flirting with 10 people at once to get attention. It's eye contact that lasts 1 second longer than normal, and then you look away because you're not supposed to stare. It's choosing where you sit so you end up in the same conversation circle. It's how you laugh, but not too loud. It's bringing up a topic you know he cares about. It's being helpful in a way that doesn't look like trying. It's letting him walk you out or letting him take that buggy ride, because in that world, that ride is not just transportation. It's a statement. And the biggest one, honestly, is simply allowing access. In a culture where young women are taught to be careful and reserved, just giving someone time alone to talk can be the loudest yes without saying yes. Now let's talk about the part people always want me to say out loud. Physical affection. In many Amish communities, public displays of affection are strongly discouraged. Even married couples typically keep affection private. So if you're imagining flirting as touching, hugging, kissing in public, that's not the norm. But inside private courtship, practices vary more than people think. There are communities where couples keep things very restrained, and there are communities where a form of bed courtship, sometimes called bundling, has existed or still exists. That's where a courting couple might lie on a bed fully clothed and talk for hours with the expectation they won't have sex. Some Amish communities do not practice this at all, and some have tried to get away from it specifically because it can lead to pregnancy before marriage. And I need to be very careful here, because the internet loves to sensationalize this into something gross or fake. The real point isn't shock value. The real point is that Amish courtship can include private closeness in some places, while public behavior stays modest, and the culture is full of boundaries, warnings, and consequences meant to push people toward marriage and community stability. That's why you'll hear something else that's not comfortable, but it's real. In some communities, if a pregnancy happens before marriage, there can be intense pressure for a quick wedding so the couple stays in the community, and it becomes a situation the family tries to handle privately. So are Amish women allowed to flirt? If you mean attention-seeking flirting, the kind that's meant to look sexy in public, the kind that makes you the center of the room, the answer is basically no. You'd be corrected, gossiped about, or labeled as fast. And in a small community, reputation follows you. But if you mean the real human thing, the quiet back and forth that says, I like you, then yes, Amish women flirt. They just do it in a way that matches the culture they were raised in. Now let me tell you something personal that I think a lot of people will understand. One of the hardest parts of growing up Amish as a girl is that you're taught to be modest and quiet, but you're also expected to marry, have children, and build a home. So you're raised with this pressure to not be noticed, while also needing to be chosen. That creates a kind of invisible skill set. You learn how to show interest without looking like you're trying. You learn how to encourage a boy without chasing him. You learn how to say no in a way that doesn't cause drama. You learn to protect your name, because once people talk, it sticks. And the boys have their own pressure too. In many places, the boy initiates. He offers that ride. He asks to visit. That's part of the pattern people describe again and again. So a lot of Amish flirting isn't bold. It's responsive. It's the difference between shutting someone down and giving him a chance. That sounds small, but in that culture, it's huge. Now, I also want to clear up one more myth. People think Amish girls are naive, like they don't understand attraction, like they're sheltered and clueless. No. Amish girls are observant. They watch everything. They know who's serious, who's just playing around, who's hardworking, who's reckless, who's kind to children, who helps his father, who shows up to gatherings, who's respectful, who's proud, because those details matter when marriage is not treated like a casual experiment. And in Amish life, divorce is not treated lightly. In some communities, it's not accepted the way it is in mainstream society, and that reality makes courtship feel higher stakes. That's why families care. That's why behavior is watched. So the flirtation is there, but it's not careless. It's also why, for many Amish women, flirting isn't fun. Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's pressure, sometimes it's being evaluated silently by older women and by other girls. And sometimes it's sweet, because when someone likes you in a world that doesn't throw compliments around, it can feel more real. I'll give you a plain example of what I mean without exposing anyone. In the English world, a boy might flirt by saying, "You look hot." In an Amish world, a boy might flirt by noticing something practical. He might comment on your work. He might offer help. He might remember something you said weeks ago. He might make sure you have a safe ride. He might show up consistently. And in a culture where words are chosen carefully, that consistency is the compliment. And on the girl's side, flirting can look like warmth that's controlled, a smile that's allowed, a conversation that lasts longer, a visit that's welcomed again. It's not nothing. It's just modest. Now here's the part I want you to really hear, especially if you're watching this and you grew up in a strict environment, Amish or not. Rules don't erase human nature. They just shape how it comes out. So Amish women are allowed to flirt in the sense that attraction and interest and courtship are a real part of life, and there are culturally accepted ways for it to happen, especially through youth gatherings and dating that often begins with simple steps like a buggy ride after a singing. But Amish women are not encouraged to flirt in a way that draws attention, crosses public modesty lines, or makes romance a performance. It's private, it's subtle, it's community-shaped, and it changes depending on the district, the bishop, the family, and the kind of youth group someone is part of. Even in one place, you can see differences depending on who raised you and what your parents allow. If you want me to go deeper in another video, tell me which angle you want because I can get very real about this topic in a respectful way. Do you want a full breakdown of how Amish dating actually starts, step by step, from the first ride to the point where it becomes serious? Do you want me to talk about what Amish girls are taught about purity and reputation and how that affects relationships? Or do you want the part nobody says out loud, what happens when a girl likes someone she's not supposed to like? If you're comfortable, leave a comment with what you want next. And if you're Amish or ex-Amish watching quietly, I see you.